Hey, welcome to Choo. My name is Jacob, and in this video I'm going to talk all about herbs, bro! More specifically, how to start a herb garden. And I'm going to give you a little tour of the herbs that I have growing here at the Choo HQ. All the while drinking this delicious homemade mead. That's mead. That's meaty. So in this video I'm going to go around the garden, show you what I've been growing for the last 2 or 3 years, and how you can get started. So if you're new to gardening, or you're new to herbs, or you just want to see what I've got going on, maybe you've watched a couple of other videos of me pottering about. I haven't really done a garden tour before. My garden is very modest, but it's getting there. Gardening takes time, step by step increments. You get used to the rhythm of it, because there is a lot of work that needs to be done, a lot of watering, a fucking shitload of weeding. Fuck man, especially I'm growing amongst grass, and this grass is tenacious. It is absolute. I'm impressed with its tenacity, but it is a bit of a. I'm going to show you around the garden, and I'll talk a little bit about the herbs and how you can get started, or you can just watch me fuck around. Stay tuned. Starting a garden can be a little bit overwhelming. It can be expensive if you want to go real hardcore. It can be it is very time consuming. And a lot of people get put off by this because they don't know where to start. They really like the idea of gardening, but they get so overwhelmed. The general rule of thumb is grow what you like to eat. If we're talking about growing food for self-sufficiency, then we're talking about growing food that you are going to want to eat, food that might be a little bit expensive to buy, especially these days, but it still can be very overwhelming, time consuming. You might want to get started straight away. You throw something in the ground, you might have to wait 3 or 4 months before you can even harvest it. If you're putting fruit trees in, it might be 3 or 4 years before you can harvest it. So I always recommend starting off with herbs. Herbs are a great way to start your self-sufficient journey because they're really cheap to get started. You don't need much space. They're really easy to look after, and they can really spice up the kitchen. See, if you're growing food for self-sufficiency, you're going to want to learn how to cook. Cooking can also be overwhelming. Herbs are a great way to get started. Nothing beats fresh herbs in the cooking, man. You throw it in there. Get something that you're used to cooking. Maybe it's a spaghetti or something. Something very simple. Your partner, your mum, your dad, whomever you live with, your roommates, like to fucking roast a bone and eat a ton of spaghetti. I understand that, trust me. Cook your usual spaghetti and then throw some fresh herbs on top, oregano, thyme, stuff like that. That meal is going to be instantly better. So if you're kind of new to cooking and growing, herbs are a great way to spice up your meal, get some flavor bombs going, and they're really, really easy to grow. So I don't subscribe to permaculture principles in its entirety per se. I sort of do a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of no dig, a little bit of dig. I just sort of mix it up based on whatever I can be doing, really. But there are some really interesting core principles to permaculture. One of the more notable ones is keeping things that you're going to harvest, stuff that you're going to use more frequently from the garden, closer to where you're going to use it, i.e. your house or your kitchen. So it makes absolute sense to have your herbs, something that you're probably going to be picking multiple times a day, near your kitchen, so you're not trekking all the way across the yard to get a little bit of rosemary. That being said, I don't have any rosemary right here. I do have some in the front yard, which isn't that far away. I live on almost an acre, so I've got plenty of space, but I keep most of my herbs around my balcony and the front yard. That way I have really easy access. I can just grab them, throw them on a little thing, off you go. So that is definitely a permaculture principle that I employ. Fruit trees further away, veggie patch further, fuck me, this meat is strong. Hang on a sec. We're going to keep our herbs, stuff that we harvest regularly, close to the kitchen. Then the veggie patch, so it's not too far away from there. Then your fruit trees a little bit further away. So, on my balcony I have the majority of my herbs. So let's go through and have a bit of a bloody look, shall we? Lemon thyme, looking a bit scraggly, but she's alright. I think most of it's hanging off the edge anyway. Tarragon I love. Chives or some shit, more basil, random greens. These are like Asian greens they call them, whatever the hell that is. It's basically just lots of different spinaches and lettuces. These are great, just to sprinkle on a meal. Chocolate thyme? Chocolate mint, I think that is. Don't know. It smells chocolatey though. Love my parsley. These are all looking a bit shit, but they'll get there. I harvest them too frequently. I think I need to let them establish for a bit. Oregano, I've got a big bush of this out the front, which we'll go have a look at in a minute. Basil, because it's that time of year. Regular thyme, which is one of my all-time favorites. Absolutely love that. Weird floating shit. I don't know why I got bored. Maybe I had one too many meads that day. Spinach. I got heaps of spinach kicking around, but I just put this here, just break it off, throw it in a thing. Ignore my trash pile, I'm cleaning that up. This is spearmint. This works. Don't know what the fuck that is. Actually, yes I do. That's a clivia, but it's not edible. It's just there because it's my grandpa's. It looks cool. But yeah, we got lots of different mints. Something weird down there near the seed thing, and this little dude for winter. You get your early propagation going. This is supposed to be a jalapeno, but I don't know what the fuck that is. But it's definitely not a jalapeno. It's a little ornamental. It's cute, but you can still eat them. But I don't know. We did a trade at a local chili fest, so I just grabbed random shit. Obviously more basil, love it. Some random chili that was gifted to us, no idea what it is. Fucking spicy though. Looks like a hybrid. More cherry tomatoes. And of course more basil. Yeah. Fucking yes, fucking love marjoram. Sorry, I just really like marjoram. So, that's my balcony, pretty much, with all the trash, ignore that. Let's go suss out the main veggie patch, and then I'll take you around to the front as well. Every time. The one thing I notice in a lot of these YouTubers, these gardeners, not many people talk about budget and how expensive it can be to start a garden. You often see a video going, it only took me 6 months to set this whole thing up, etc., etc., and it looks fantastic. It's like, yeah, 6 months, how much money? Thousands of dollars, I imagine, to bring in the soil, the dirt, the garden beds. The plants themselves often aren't cheap. So you might get some great ideas from a lot of these guys. I'm not poo-pooing anybody, that's for sure. My garden looks like shit. But people don't talk about the budget. The whole point of becoming self-sufficient is to become reliant on yourself and not outside factors like government, industry, having to go to a shitty job that you hate. How can you afford to set up a garden in 6 months' time if you don't have a shitty job that you hate? I love my job, but I'm just saying, I didn't always love what I did for a living. So this is something that's often overlooked. Gardens take time. The budgetary restrictions and time restrictions are usually the two biggest things in life, and especially when it comes to trying to set up a garden. So herbs are a great way to get started because you can just buy one, off you go. If you pick the right herbs, which is what I often do, I mean, we've talked about a bit of basil, that's seasonal, but a lot of my herbs are perpetual. They'll just grow all year round, like rosemary, for example. Thyme will last 5 years before it has to be replaced. Oregano, you can harvest these all year round. One plant for $4, or you can even start from seeds, but I recommend just buying a plant to get started. In a few weeks' time, maybe a month, it's ready to harvest, and you can continually harvest this forever. This is a very, very budget-friendly way to get started on your self-sufficient journey. You might not be self-sufficient with all of your foods, but if you can save money in any way with herbs, not to mention they're far more nutritious, far more delicious, more versatile because you've got fresh herbs. You could also dry them out. You could add them to teas and all kinds of different stuff, and you're not going to have those little plastic containers and plastic bags and adding to landfill and garbage and all this other shit. You're not going to run out. Oh no, I'm making spaghetti bolognese, I've got no oregano, got to go to the shops. No, you don't. You just got to pop out to your balcony, ma'am, and then you're fucking set, dude. So herbs are a really budget-friendly way to get going in the garden. It's a great way to start. You can do it on a balcony. You don't even need a big yard. You can do it in a windowsill, inside the house. You can do it on your porch, your patio, your balcony, etc. This is why I think herbs are a great way to get started. Pick the herbs you like. Pick the ones that are, if you like Italian cuisine, pick Mediterranean herbs. If you like more Asian style cuisine, there's heaps of delicious options. You will also have to consider your climate. Certain things don't grow well in certain areas. There's little manipulations you can do. You can have little hot houses. You can put stuff in a windowsill. You can spray them, etc. So you can't always grow what you want, but you can get pretty close. And if you live in a temperate climate like we do, you're going to get your Mediterranean herbs. So you'll be fine in that sense. So find out what grows well in your area. There's so many guides online. I'll link a couple below if you're in Australia anyway. And get going because it's budget friendly. You can look at a really famous YouTuber who's a gardener and he's got this most epic garden ever. They would have spent thousands and thousands of dollars in order to achieve that. Not everybody has that luxury. So start small and then build and grow, just like a plant, just like a garden. you will grow your garden over time. Start off with 1 plant, then 2, then 3, then 10, and soon you won't be buying herbs ever again. I really love edible flowers like these nasturtiums, for example, because they're super nutritious, they make for excellent salad greens, and they are excellent companion plants. They're easy to grow, easy to maintain as long as you weed them out, give them plenty of water. Often pests will be attracted to these instead of, say, like your cabbages or whatever, or something else that you're growing there. So they will save your main crop whilst also providing excellent attraction for pollinators such as bees and other insects. And you can also harvest them and eat them. A lot of edible flowers don't really taste like much, actually. They're kind of flavorless. Nasturtiums, on the other hand, taste great. They start off really, really sweet, and then they have like a mustard, bitter, spicy finish. So they work really well as a salad. They look really pretty, and there's so many other benefits to them as well. I used to have a lot more nasturtiums and other edible flowers. Some pop up in winter, some in spring, whatever. We're just coming into autumn at the time of recording. A lot of mine have been neglected. I've been a bit slack, like I said, but it's something I'm definitely going to be throwing myself into in the future is far more edible flowers, because they're just absolutely fantastic. Not technically a herb, but I'm going to sort of group them in together. Not technically a herb, but super awesome. So my greenhouse has also been a little bit neglected. This bed here is fucked. It's got yarrow, which is an interesting tea, but I don't love it, and it's completely taken over. The nigellas are cool. Wrong time of year, but they will pop up again. We've done some nigella stuff in the past, so you may remember that. But yeah, definitely going to have to... I'm going to rip all this out. This is a bit of a shonky job as well. I'm definitely going to be replacing all of this. Over here again needs a weed. So let's have a look at this garden bed, see what we got going on here. Sage, rosemary, loganberry, it sucks. Mint, more mint. Something's been really getting stuck into this though. And then on the bed we got parsley, which I should be eating a lot more of this. That's really bolted, which isn't ideal, but we'll see how we go with that. Some thyme? I thought that guy died, he was just getting smothered. So more thyme. That was a sunflower. The oregano's been absolutely attacked by this grass, which I cannot get rid of. Ugh, it's everywhere. But yeah, lots of oregano. Again, I need to hack that back. Let's go have a look over here. We got our verbena in the ugly sapling. Lemon verbena, I love this. Makes an excellent tea. Makes for a good mead as well. Ignore all my mess. Let's go and have a look inside, eh? So I've really neglected this place as well. This is my next big project, because I've just knocked up a garden shed. I'll give you a quick look at that. But I haven't pimped it out yet. It's not quite finished. Once that's done, I'm going to really get stuck into here, because this is a really excellent grow area. The shade cloth will keep the frost off, so I can have some stuff go through winter, provided it can withstand the cold. This will protect the plants from the frost, but not the cold. So it works for certain plants, like certain types of chilies will make it through here. Not really a herb spot at this stage, except that we will be putting in a lot of coriander. This is where we grow the majority of our coriander. So just like I mentioned, gardening takes a lot of time and a lot of money. So this is why so much of my garden's gone to shit, because I've been busy with other things. So you need to be prepared for that, which is why starting small, getting into that habit, getting into that routine is a real great way to begin until you get used to it. Because if you live on an acre like I do, it's overwhelming sometimes, and then shit can go to waste. Start small and build. Such a busy little town. Fucking hell. So as usual, some of my footage got corrupted. I don't know what I'm fucking doing. So I just wanted to run through, pretty much, I think I've got a list here of everything that I've been growing, or that will pop up throughout different times of the year. Most of the stuff is permanent, but we have some random stuff, and there's a few things I've missed in the video filming, and there's probably even more things that I can't remember off the top of my head, because there's so many different things, and like I said, some things pop up at different times of the year, so they weren't all there at the time of filming. Quick list, let's see if we can keep count. Rosemary, thyme, lemon thyme, basil, purple basil, parsley, wide leaf, we've got curly parsley as well, chocolate mint, common mint, peppermint, spearmint, oregano, golden oregano, chives, marjoram. Oof. Oh, I fucking love my bloody marjoram, bloody hell. Tarragon, blue sage, yarrow, chamomile, which is in the front yard. That's a new addition. I forgot to film that. And I forgot to take you guys down to the creek for whatever reason. We've got a bunch of random stuff down there. We've got some wild mint. Don't even know what it is. It is edible though, someone did confirm that, and I've been eating it. I'm fine. There's also some thyme mints and a bunch of other stuff. Also, certain times of year, onion weed pops up. I use the flowers from that. It's technically an allium, so it's not a herb per se, but the definition of a herb is, you know, sort of a bit. We've also got a bay leaf tree. Now, a tree's not technically a herb, but you use bay as a herb, so I'm going to count that. Lemon verbena, myrtle occasionally pops up. We've got basil, coriander, or cilantro, which pops up at different times of year. We got fennel, which pops up randomly all over the yard. I don't even know. I don't really use it, so I totally forgot about that. I think it's the wrong time of year, but anyway, fennel pops up a lot. And we got a bunch of edible flowers like nigella, yarrow, sunflowers, lavender. You can eat lavender. In fact, you can pretty much use the flowers from most of the herbs like rosemary and thyme. Those flowers are delicious and they retain their flavor as well, and they look really pretty, so that's great. Tons of edible flowers, even soursobs you can eat. It's actually, I quite enjoy them on top of a thing just to add a little bit of a tang. And then we've got a bunch of mixed greens, random microgreens and baby spinaches, and we've got a whole bunch of sprouts that I harvest as a microgreen, so I guess that's a herb. I don't know if you count that. And a whole bunch of other random stuff. So, as you can see, over the time I've collected, I don't know, 30, 40 different types of herbs and herb-like things that you could use to enhance your cooking and add a lot of that nutrition. And it's pretty cheap and they're almost perpetual. You know, you can harvest from them, you can take cuttings, you can get like the sage bush that I've got, which I didn't really talk about, but it's one of my favorite sages. I use it a lot in some of my products as well. That bush came from my cousin Alexander's, who you would have seen in some of these videos. He's had it for 5-6 years before I came down. So this is like a lineage. This tree, I've got about 6 of them now, this bush, all derived from the one plant at my old house where I was staying with my cousin and his partner. So you can take cuttings, start small, build, get yourself some herbs because it's really, really easy. Don't fret if you accidentally kill one. Thyme can be a bit fickle. You can overwater it, you can underwater it. At times, a bit of a prick. It is delicious though, but it can be a bit funny. So start small, work your way up, guys. And I promise you, this is the easiest way. Something's in my fucking eye. This is the easiest way to get going in your garden. Start with some herbs and go from there. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and all that YouTube stuff. If you want to contribute monetarily to the channel, jump on our website, choo.com, get yourself a bottle of hot sauce. That way, you're throwing a few bucks at us. It helps us make these videos, but you're also getting a competitively priced, delicious local product as well. So you're getting something back, not just me swearing on camera. So, thanks guys. Hopefully this doesn't get corrupted. Fucking who knows. I'll see you in the next video. Oh, if you enjoyed this vlog style of video, which is a bit different to what I usually do, let me know. And I'll be happy to do more tours around the garden and updates and so on and so forth. We're coming into autumn now, which means we're about to sow our winter crop, which is going to be a lot of fun. Don't worry, I'm still going to be doing all my regular content if you do enjoy that, a bit more polished and refined. But I just wanted to talk about herbs because, well, they're fucking fantastic. So, hope you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, all that stuff, and I'll see you in the next one.